welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy and our special guest today, Brian Nappy, who we went surfing with. Actually, we went yesterday and today, but yesterday we didn't even get in the water because we went to Newport first and it was just too small at the pier. So we drove up to Huntington and we got down on the sand and looked out at the ocean and thought, no, not worth it. It was choppy, there was a current, it was windy, it was just not very appealing, so we didn't even go in the water. So that was a pretty short, sweet trip to nowhere. And then we just headed home and hung out. Day after 4th of July, still settling down. I did see them start to pull in some trucks for the U.S. Open, which is going to start here not next week, but the week after, I think the 18th. And so that's going to be fun watching them build a city. They build a skate park, they build bleachers, they build a store. It goes on and on. There's booths, and it's massive. Quite impressive to see. So that's what happened yesterday. And then as I was standing there on the shore, I was thinking to myself, well, at Newport, if you just start walking north, the waves get bigger. And I didn't think about it when I was there, but I thought about it afterwards. And so I thought, well, today let's just go to Newport and we'll just start walking north until we see a wave. And so that's what we did. Brian?
Hello. It was still pretty small, but we did find some waves. Well, I didn't find any. I watched them go by.
Some waves found you.
Yeah.
So you learned how to duck dive, I should say bail and dive off.
Mostly bail.
Bail and get under the wave, which is, that's lesson number one, is get comfortable in the ocean.
Which I don't know. I feel like every time I come back, I have to start at square one because I have so much time in between.
Well, that's just what you're saying is you need to come more often.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Tomorrow will be a better day.
Tomorrow's going to be great. And so we're going to go back, probably the same place, start close to the pier and work our way north till we find a wave we like. And like I said, as you go north with this type of a swell, it starts getting bigger and bigger, all the way to the jetties and then into Huntington Beach. But the waves were about, I would say, knee to hip high, maybe.
If that.
Well,
you may have got one right that was hip high.
I got one right. I left that was pretty good size. It was the biggest one of the day, and I happened to catch it, and I was pretty lucky because a lot of the other sets that came in, I was out of position, didn't get a lot of those. Got quite a few mediums to bottom turn. They're just so slow and weak that you can't turn sharp and hard because you'll just fall down. It's like riding a bicycle really slow. It's hard to turn, but if you pick up a little speed, you can turn and maneuver and down the road. So that was pretty cool. Water was kind of cold when we first put our foot in, but then it quickly warmed up. It was cold for a few minutes, and then for some reason it started to warm up again. And we were guessing that yesterday, because the wind was blowing so hard, it stirred up some of the colder water from underneath and pushed it into Newport. And so it was pretty good. Brian was mesmerized by my surfing ability.
I thought I was out there with a pro. I was a little confused.
We're lying about that, but it's still fun. There was only a few people. Me and Brian were pretty much by ourselves south of we were on Lifeguard Station 34, I think, and we were by the South Jetty in 34, and then to the north of us, there was probably about 8 people. 3 or 4 were within 50 to 75 yards, and then a few more down further. So we were pretty much by ourselves. When I caught a long ride, which happened a couple times, I'd catch it and ride all the way into the shore, and when I paddled out, I was past that second group there, so I had to paddle out and then across back where I was. So that's the drawback for a good long ride, is a good long paddle back out, but waves were weak.
On the south side of the jetty, over by the pier, there was about 200 kids.
Oh, there was
just playing in the water with their surfboards.
Yeah, there was a school, a surf school on the other side of the jetty between 32 and 28, I think it is. And there was a lot of kids. It was just solid kids, and I couldn't surf there. I'd just be ridiculous trying to avoid them. So we were lucky enough to pick the jetty above them, and that was perfect. Perfect. Size was small, but I mean, not so many people. Just easy to. You're not dodging people. I did one time. One wave I took off late. It was already turning white at the top, and I did a nice bottom turn, which got me some speed, and I made it to the edge and did a nice turn off the top. And then as I came back around for another bottom turn, there was two little kids staring up at me, wondering if it was their last day on Earth. But I didn't. I looked at them and I gave them the thumbs up, hoping they'd understand that I had control and not to worry. And so I just peeled back off the wave and went straight to avoid them. And the one kid said sorry. The other kid said, "For what?" He thought he was talking to the other kid, but he was talking to me. So sorry. For what? No, over here, dude.
Being a rookie in that situation, sometimes you don't feel like you can get out of the way fast enough. You get a little nervous.
Well, you just don't know which way the guy's going to go, and so you panic.
And you can never guarantee he has control over his board.
But, FYI, for beginners, Brian, if you're not sure, push the board to one side, dive as deep as you can, let him figure it out.
That's usually what I do.
Push the board and go under the water, because when you look at it surfing, even some of the video you see on YouTube, when the guy's taking a picture of a surfer from under the water as he goes across the wave, you can see he's only a couple of inches in the water.
Oh yeah.
You're riding the surface of the wave, you're not riding 2 feet deep. So,
I'm more worried about him, not me.
That's his problem. You got to protect yourself. You can't. If you can get out of the way, great. If you understand which way he's going and which way you need to go, do it. But if you're not sure, the best thing to do is just ditch the board and go under the water. That gives him one less obstacle to avoid. So it's better for him that he sees a board, because a board he can dodge most of the time. If he's completely out of control, then it's best that you're underwater anyway, because you'd rather him hit the board than your head. I've got some pictures of that. If you're interested, just send it. Some guy hit me in the head with a surfboard. So it wasn't fun at all. Didn't see any dolphins. Saw some ducks and birds out there, but didn't see anything much more than that. I didn't see any fish. Didn't see anything. I could tell you about how I saved the seahorse. I told that story a few months ago, but we were walking out at Huntington Beach, and there was a seahorse laying in the sand.
Is he still alive?
And his eye was open and it was moving. I was like, the dude's alive, man. So we took him and we drug him out into the deeper water, and I threw him into the water and thought I saved his life. But then after I got done surfing, I came back in. I'm walking down the beach, and sure enough, I come across the seahorse on the sand again, and some seagull was eating him. So
well, you tried.
I tried. Couldn't save the life of my seahorse friend. But so that's that's it. Nothing more to report, I guess. I guess we'll just see you tomorrow. We're going to try Newport again, me and Brian. He's still got a couple more days here before he heads back to Salt Lake City. And then we'll see what other family members we can get to come out here and surf. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later.
And have fun. I don't know if I'll be back on, but I guess you never know.
No, you never know.
We'll see you tomorrow.
I think he will be. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we're going to catch some waves. See you then. Hey, check out our sponsors, nappyclothing.com, Task Bullet, Merch Hero, and I think it's something Swing. What is it? I wrote it down here somewhere. Oh, swingeasy.com for your hammocks. Or go to Nappy Clothing and link over or something. I'm not sure how to find it. But
or you could go donate blood. That's all I have to contribute on sponsors.
Today we're being sponsored by the Red Cross, apparently. Brian works for the Red Cross and is the bloodsucker and phlebotomist, teacher. What do you do?
Just an instructor.
Instructor. He's the instructor. Okay, good. Instruct how to suck blood. Okay, thanks for listening. See you soon. Thanks. Bye.